Hi, ladies. Jackie Sabrin here, and today I want to talk to you about finding love after divorce. And as having gone through a divorce myself, I'm really coming from experience and speaking from my heart when I consider what I wanted to share with you today about finding love after you've been through a divorce. When you've been through a divorce, there's a lot of pain involved, and finding love again can be tremendously challenging. And as you know, you've probably been through a breakup. They're never easy. They're difficult, and it can seem a lot harder to find love after divorce because it's not just the process that you have to get back into the dating game, but it's the pain that you carry with you, the resulting from the divorce. And so there's a couple things that I recommend that you do, steps that you take that I took that can make sure that you are guaranteed to find love again. Because I don't think it's a hope, it's a guarantee. You will find love again. And so the first thing that I think is really important is to heal first and love later. And so what I mean by that, heal first, love later. After my divorce was final, I remember starting to examine what really had happened for me and the process that I went through to make my way back to really my authentic self, because a lot of the reasons why I got divorced or that I was unhappy were related to things that were already present in me, and then they really came out in my marriage. Some behaviors that were dysfunctional, evident that lack of communication skills I had, fear of intimacy, wanting to control to feel safe. I had a lot of issues that surfaced in my marriage, my first marriage, and those are the things that I really had to get to work on. Before I felt ready to go into another relationship. And so sometimes dating can help with that healing process. And so I don't think that there's any wrong path in terms of dating after you're divorced, or maybe even while you're separated, or waiting till after you're legally divorced. I think that that's a personal choice, but because every choice you make, there's a lesson to be learned. Even if you feel it's a wrong choice, there's still something to learn in those choices. And so that's why I think that either approach, is a personal choice. And so, but healing. Let's talk about healing. Healing is so important because when you don't heal from any kind of painful experiences, you essentially take that into the next relationship that you have. And that's why you want to really look at healing yourself, because you're just piling on top of these painful experiences, and eventually something's going to give, right? You're going to attract a similar situation into your life in an attempt to help you to become more aware of what your challenges are so that you can heal them. But you may not recognize that if you haven't begun the healing process. You may just get out there and start dating, and then find out you're attracting the same emotionally unavailable men, or you're attracting men that don't treat you well, or attracting men that take, and you're overgiving, whatever it is for you. And so healing first is going to catapult you ahead of the time that it takes to heal. So I recommend ideally is to just focus on your healing. That's really what I recommend, because it will fast track your ability to attract the right man into your life, and it also puts you in the position to really take ownership for your role that you played in the divorce, and really help you to heal those areas of your life that you really do need to focus on, so that you can have a healthy, emotionally mature, highly functional relationship the second time around. And then it also gives you time to examine what you learned in that relationship to begin with. I think a lot of people are so focused on the bitterness and the pain and the blame, shame game, that they don't really recognize all of the things that they learned from their first marriage, because there's so much to learn. When you look back in hindsight, you can see, wow, I've learned a lot about myself. So I think it's really really important to take stock inventory in what it is that you learned from your experience, because that's a great topic to discuss on your dates. So instead of focusing on why you got divorced, you could focus on what you learned in in getting a divorce in your divorce and in while you were married the first time around. So you can turn that into a positive for yourself. So the second thing on how to find love after divorce is it's really important to let go of bitterness. And so you have to learn to forgive and take responsibility. And it's really hard to let go of forgiveness when you've been hurt, especially if you've been betrayed in any way. It's so hard to let go of it. But the thing with not letting go of the bitterness and non-forgiveness is that you're the one who suffers. It's like it's like taking poison but expecting the other person to die. Okay, so the toxicity that is left over from the painful experience creates the bitterness. And forgiveness alleviates you from that. So forgiveness is a self-protection mechanism. Forgiveness helps you to move on. It doesn't condone or excuse behavior, but it allows you to simply accept what happened, that it really happened to you. And in that acceptance, you surrender to the truth, which was that it did happen, you were hurt, and allows you to forgive so that you can move on. Forgiveness isn't about the other party. It helps you to release yourself from the toxicity left over by the wound. So that really helps you let go of the bitterness, because bitterness is something that men have a high radar for. And I think we all do. You can tell when someone's bitter. You can tell by the tone of their voice. You can tell by how their attitude, their body language. You can tell by the type of people that they surround themselves by. And so you look around and see who you're surrounding yourself by and see if there are people that are complaining about their lives or they're taking responsibility. And I recommend you get in the group that take your responsibility, because you'll go much further. And let's look at the word responsibility, response-able. It's simply your ability to respond to yourself, not to someone else necessarily, but to you. So when you're response able and you're practicing forgiveness, that alleviates all the bitterness, and your light can start to shine again. And from that place, you're going to attract a more I want to say high caliber, but really what I'm saying is a more evolved experience for yourself the second time around, more fulfilling, more self-awareness, and you'll be more content in a relationship when you're practicing that, because you're going to need to practice forgiveness in your next relationship, because we're not perfect and we make mistakes. But learning how to forgive quickly, it is really, really important to the health of any relationship. And so the third thing I want to talk to you about is where you're going to find love after a divorce. So finding love in the right places is very important. And what I recommend that you do is to look at getting involved in different events. So if you've gone through a divorce, I recommend to get back out there, to slowly get back out there, is to go ahead and volunteer for film festivals or any kind of event production that's in your community, or fairs in the summer. There's a lot of art and cultural fairs that you can volunteer for. Becoming a volunteer gives you a sense of a purpose and meaning, but it also helps you to meet new people. And from that place, you can start to create a new community, a circle of friends, and then from that place, then you can start dating and grow yourself a new life and a new love. And so that can be very exciting. Online dating, I think, is a fantastic resource for you to use when you're wanting to find love after divorce, because you can learn very quickly about yourself through the dating process, areas that you need to heal. So I'm a big advocate for online dating. And it's not just because I met my husband there, but it does prepare you to meet men in real life, because the more dates you go on, the more prepared you are in real life, because you've been practicing your dating skills, your social skills on these dates, so that when you are in real life and you do find yourself in line at the baggage claim when you're traveling, there's a great guy behind you and you start talking to him, next thing you know, you're in a soulmate relationship. And I'm referring to one of my clients. She met her soulmate in line at the baggage check when she was on a trip recently. And because she had been preparing, healing, and following the coaching that I provide, she turned around in the line and spoke up to the gentleman behind her And fast forward to today, she's now planning her future life with her fiance. And so that's really exciting. Love can happen fast, but there's certainly things that you can do to find love after divorce. And I recommend that you heal first and love after, that you let go of the bitterness, learn how to forgive and take responsibility for your role so that you can grow from that, and find love in the right places. Start out slow by getting involved in different things in your community, and start to become more social. And through that process, you'll be kind of forced to grow. You're putting yourself in a position where you're forced to grow. And I remember feeling really, really sensitive when I was out in the world after my divorce. I had a lot of embarrassment, shame. I was so identified with the role of being married, of Mrs. And when I became a Ms., that was really traumatic for me because I thought I was my role as a wife. And then I discovered through the work that I teach and my own personal work that I am so much more than a role or a title or a Mrs. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And with that understanding and that awareness, my whole life changed. And so remember, if you've gone through a divorce or you're going through it now, I know that there's a lot of pain involved in it, but just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. It's the new improved version of yourself, because you are kind of like a phoenix. You burn away all of those layers that happen, the painful experiences, and you can rise out of that to become more empowered, more amazing, and more powerful than you ever thought possible. So a lot of good can come from painful experiences if you look at them as opportunities to grow. And so I hope this was helpful, ladies. Hi, Nick. Hi, Dinah. I think I got it right. Nice to see you here. Hi, Tamara. Nice to see you. Hi, Nita. And I'm just going to say hi, Susie. Hi. Hi, Naritha. Hi, Michael. Hi, Alexi. Nice to see you all here. So I hope this was helpful. I noticed that my computer is going to die, so I'm going to have to end the call. And I don't see any questions, but I want you to remember that love is guaranteed. You can only fail if you quit. You will find love again if you've been through a painful experience like a divorce. All you have to do is just get out there, put one foot in front of the other, and take more risks, be more open to possibility, because it's everywhere. You just have to put yourself in a position to have those experiences so that you can grow from them. Okay, ladies and gents, thank you for being here. Sending you all lots of love today. Bye.